person on her left. The Queen has never been allowed to sign her autograph. The whole royal family has been banned from signing autographs for fans in case their signature gets forged later on. And finally, one of the most strict rules is how she's allowed to sit. In particular, she isn't allowed to cross her legs. The Queen must keep her knees together while tilting her legs to the sides. Here's why you should never swallow gum. In 2011, Samantha Jenkins fell into a coma and later died at the age of 19. After her death, her mom found dozens of empty gum packets in her possessions. She felt ridiculous, suggesting that it might have something to do with her death, but she thought it was worth mentioning. The doctor later said the cause of death was because of a lack of minerals in her body, which was caused by malabsorption because of the chewing gum in her stomach. There was a big snowstorm last night, so they closed the schools. I'm going back to sleep. Who used their time away from school productively? I did. Really? What did you do? I prayed for more snow. Why are you praying in my class? My mom told me I should pray before sleeping. Guess what? Yesterday I found out that 20 piranhas can strip your flesh in just 15 minutes. Really? That's crazy. But unfortunately I lost my job at the swimming pool. Here's things that are bigger than you thought. Here's how big a traffic light is compared to a human. Here's a polar bear's paw compared to a human hand. Traffic signs are actually really big. Here's a regular sized moose compared to vehicles. Here's how big the Titanic is compared to a modern cruise ship. Here's how big a tornado is compared to a wind turbine. And here's how big the blade of a wind turbine is compared to a human. Officer, I need your help. What is it, ma'am? Yesterday my husband went to the grocery store to buy potatoes, but he hasn't come home yet. Then why don't you cook something else? 5 advertising tricks they don't want you to know. In commercials, they place cardboard in between each pancake to make them look better. And because syrup absorbs quickly, they use engine oil. Ice cream melts quickly under hot studio lights, so instead they use colored mashed potatoes. In commercials for milk, coffee, and beer, they add a liquid soap. It creates a stable foam that looks more appealing. Unlike whipped cream, shaving cream doesn't melt, so they use it on desserts in commercials and movies. Now before I tell you the craziest one, I found this addicting new shooter game. There's tons of weapons to collect, a bunch of different heroes to unlock, and insane boss fights. Just press the button on my profile to get it. Finally, cereal quickly soaks into milk and sinks to the bottom. So they replace the milk with glue so the cereal stays on top and doesn't get soggy. Secret messages hidden in popular logos. In Baskin-Robbins, the B and the R also have the number 31 to represent how many flavors they have. In the Tour de France logo, the O, U, and the R are shaped as someone riding a bike. The bottom of the Levi's logo is the same shape as the pockets on their jeans. The coat of arms of Bern, which is where Toblerone chocolate is made, has a bear on it. And so does the logo. The tire company Continental has the C and the O shaped as a tire. Now before I tell you the craziest one, I found this app that tells you your celebrity look-alike. Just press this button on my profile if you want to try it too. The reason the Apple logo has a bite in it is so people wouldn't mistake it as a cherry.
Hello, Mrs. Talbot. I'm wondering if Ben's awake. Not yet. He's still sleeping. Oh, I was wondering if you wanted to come to my house today. Good morning, Mommy. Who are you talking to? Your friend Luke's wondering if you want to go to his house. Can I? If you want to. Say yes. He just woke up and he said yes. Time for school already? Yes, 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 yes!
Here's what cartoon characters would look like in real life. Daffy Duck from Looney Tunes, Daisy from Looney Tunes, Speedy Gonzales from Looney Tunes, Tiger from Winnie the Pooh, Chase from Paw Patrol, Bing Bong from Inside Out, Bruni from Frozen 2, Sandy from SpongeBob, Judy Hopps from Zootopia, Flounder from The Little Mermaid, Harry the Platypus from Phineas and Ferb, and the cat from Alice in Wonderland. Give me all your money, otherwise you'll be chemistry. Don't you mean history? Don't change the subject. Secret messages hidden in popular logos. Hyundai. Lots of people think the logo is just the first letter of the company, but it also symbolizes a client and a representative of the company shaking hands. Adidas. The logo has 3 stripes that form a triangle. This symbolizes a mountain, which represents the challenges all athletes have to overcome day after day. Toyota. The logo is actually a needle with a thread passing through it to represent their past, because they used to make weaving machines. However, the individual parts of the logo also spell out the company's name. Hello? Yeah, I'll send him down. Luke? Your mom's here to pick you up for your dentist appointment. Here's the only way to survive if you're buried alive. First, you need to stay calm and slow down your breathing to preserve oxygen. Then lift your shirt up and tie it in a knot to protect yourself from dirt. Now with something hard like a belt buckle, a ring, or a rock, you need to break the coffin. Now use your hands to push the dirt to your feet so you can sit up, then climb out. Here's what would happen if the Queen murdered murdered someone. Whenever someone goes on trial in the UK, it's that person versus the Crown, which means it's the Queen versus you. But the Queen can't prosecute herself, so she can technically get away with murder. Now, before I tell you the craziest part, I found this app that lets you prank your friends and family by changing their text messages. Just press this button on my profile if you want to try it too. Legally, no arrest can be made in the Queen's presence without her approving it. So if anyone tried to arrest her, she could just say no. Here's what would happen if Earth lost gravity for 5 seconds. Everything would become weightless and nothing would be held in place. But instead of floating in air like you were in space, you would be like a fast-moving tumbleweed. Not just humans, but everything including buildings, vehicles, trees, and water. This is because the Earth would still be spinning, unlike if you were in space. The Earth's atmosphere would also disappear, resulting in a drastic change in air pressure causing everyone's eardrums to rupture. And lastly, without an atmosphere, there would be no oxygen on Earth. Here's the dark theory about Mr. Krabs. Since he's the only crab in Bikini Bottom, fans believe that he killed the rest of them to make Krabby Patties. In this episode, when Plankton and Mr. Krabs were fighting over the Krabby Patty secret formula, he accidentally ripped off the part that said crab meat is the secret ingredient. In an episode where Mr. Krabs takes a bite out of a Krabby Patty, he said, "Oh, so that's what I taste like." This is why Mr. Krabs was scared when the food inspector came. And they also believe this is why the Krusty Krab is shaped as a crab trap. Hey dear, there's a stop it. One shall not speak while we're eating. If you say so. Now tell me, what were you saying? Nothing, there's just a cockroach in your burger. Start writing this in your notes. Can I go to the bathroom? I don't know. Can you? So what did you need help with? I'm not gonna teach you this because you'll learn it next year. I'm gonna skip this because you guys should remember it from last year. I've called you like 10 times. Why haven't you been answering? I can explain. Then explain. I like my ringtone. Bro, I just dropped my phone from the 20th floor. Is it broken? I don't know yet, but good thing I put it on airplane mode. Hey, what's wrong? I'm sick of your comments about my weight. I'm leaving you. But what about our child? What child? So you're not pregnant? Here's the dark theory about Timmy Turner. In the show, when kids turn 13, they lose their fairy godparents. So fans believe right before he turned 13, he wished to be a ghost, which turned his whole world into the show Danny Phantom. This is why Timmy looks like Danny, Chester looks like Dash, AJ looks like Tucker, and Trixie looks like Paulina. This robber showed up to the bank he robbed during a live broadcast. In Minnesota, a man was reporting about a bank being robbed the day before, when an employee ran out of the building behind him and pointed to something in the distance.
Tyler, just 24 hours ago, this bank in there... What? Oh, that's the robber. This is live TV, folks. That's the robber, just went by, according to the bank employee. So I gotta go here and call 911. I'll talk to you later.
The bank employee ran after him, but he jumped into a van. But because of this, the police were able to track him down and arrest him. It turns out he had robbed the same bank 2 days in a row. Hey, what are you doing right now? Phoning the most beautiful girl in the world. Aw, that's sweet. Yeah, but she's not answering, so I'm phoning you. 3 times The Simpsons predicted the future. In a 2012 episode, Lady Gaga performed for the town hanging in midair. 5 years later, she flew off the Houston Energy Stadium roof in real life to perform for the Super Bowl halftime show. In 2008, they showed Homer trying to vote for Barack Obama in the election, but the machine kept changing his vote. 4 years later, a voting machine in Pennsylvania was removed because it kept changing people's votes from Barack Obama to his rival Mitt Romney. Before I tell you the craziest one about Apple, I found this app that gives you a bunch of new fonts. Just press this button on my profile if you want to get it. Finally, in 1994, a school bully wrote "Beat Up Martin" on his Apple Newton, which was a product before the iPhone was made, but it got translated to "Eat Up Martha." A few years later, when making the iPhone keyboard, they added the autocorrect feature, and said it was inspired by this episode of The Simpsons. Why aren't you picking up the phone? I always pick it up on the 3rd ring. It makes me seem cooler. Pick it up! Fine. 911, what's your emergency? Here's why bees can only sting once. When a bee sticks its stinger into your skin, it releases venom which causes pain and can affect your immune system and skin cells. Bees won't sting unless they feel threatened, but after stinging you, they can't pull their stinger out of your skin, so they have to leave it behind. The stinger contains some of the bee's digestive system, nerves, and muscles which are essential for the bee to live, so they end up not surviving. Here's the dumbest things bought by billionaires. Saudi Prince Amir bought a Mercedes covered in 300,000 diamonds. It took 13 experts 2 weeks to attach them, and it cost